Hello and welcome to another video for Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we're looking at something that's now quite old, has become incredibly collectible and becoming harder and harder to find, and is just awesome in my eyes. We are looking at the 1995 release by IPI from their series of Star Trek electronic keychains. This particular one we're looking at today is from Star Trek The Next Generation, and it is of the Tricorder as used by Commander Data on board the USS Enterprise. Well, as you know, Star Trek The Next Generation was the third series in the Star Trek franchise. Obviously, it was inspired by the original Star Trek, the original series, which was set in the latter third of the 24th century. And then we had Star Trek, the animated series. And then followed on Star Trek The Next Generation. And The Next Generation was set 100 years into the future of Star Trek The original series. The series was incredibly successful. It ran for 7 seasons. There was a total of 178 episodes. And it aired from the 28th of September 1987 right through to the 23rd of May 1994. And from then, the cast went straight over to the movie sets to record Star Trek Generations, which was then very quickly followed by Star Trek First Contact. There was a bit of a gap then until the Insurrection came out, and then finally we had Star Trek Nemesis. Incidentally, the budget for each individual episode of Star Trek The Next Generation was $1.3 million per episode. Incredible amount of money, but it was an incredibly popular television series, and it was one of the top rated television shows on the network. Anyway, let's not digress any further. This is the item in front of us, and it is of the Tricorder keychain, and this is the card it comes in, and it says Star Trek Next Generation Tricorder keychain with authentic sound and lights. And you can see the picture, or the picture of Commander Data there, or Lieutenant Commander Data holding the Tricorder from a still image from Star Trek Next Generation. And you can see the actual Tricorder keyring just behind the bubble. Now, before we have a good look at that, I'm just going to turn the card around and let's see what we got on the back. So on the back of the card, if I can put that so you can see it, it says, again, Star Trek Next Generation Tricorder keychain. Before operating, open battery hatch as shown in diagram. Remove plastic tab. Replace battery hatch. Battery replacement. Open battery hatch as shown in diagram. No position of batteries. Replace in same position with L44 or A76 batteries. And additional keychains available. So you've got the Star Trek Original Series Communicator, Star Trek The Original Series Tricorder, Star Trek sound effects for the original series, and then we got Star Trek The Next Generation sound effects keychain, and Star Trek The Next Generation Phaser Type 1 keychain. There was also a few others. There was the Phaser Type 2, and there was also the phaser from the original series that was done, as well as obviously this Tricorder. It says join the official Star Trek fan club today for only $16.95 by calling 1-800-TRUE-FAN and use your Visa or MasterCard. You got all the copyright and licensing information at the bottom there, and the IPI address, the item number, made in China, and the barcode on the bottom right hand corner. Okay, well, this particular item was is a former shop display item. Now, there was all of the keychains, I think there was 6 or 8, might have been 8 altogether, that were displayed in a shop counter for a period of time before being retired to the stockroom, or put back into the packets, I should say, and retired to the stockroom. And there they stayed until the owners decided to retire, and we went in and bought out all their stock. And in the back room was all of these keychains together with their packets. But they'd all had the batteries removed so that they didn't leak or what have you. But it was quite strange because anything they had on display, they didn't even try to sell. They just finished when the display came to an end. They just popped the stuff into a box and put it in the stockroom, and there it stayed. And there was years and years and years worth of former display items that was like Aladdin's cave for me when I walked in there. It was just incredible, and we managed to do a deal and buy all that stock, and most of which now is being made available on the Midas Touch website for you to enjoy. But anyway, that's a bit of history on this item. What we're going to do now is we're going to open this pack up, because it's already been opened and has been very neatly resealed, but we're going to open it up, we're going to take it out, and we're going to have a look at the keychain itself. Okay, so I've removed the item from the packet, and this is what we've got. So we've got the tricorder here, and I have actually inserted batteries into it. So you can see at the back there, this is where the batteries go, and I've put 3 new batteries in there. Let's just close that up. And you also get this limited warranty sheet that comes with the item, but obviously it's not going to be valid now. This item's 30 years old. Oh, it's gone off. So we know it's working, so let's open it up, and there you can see the lights flashing, and the you can hear the sounds. Which way up is it? So that's the way up. Oh yeah, okay, so you press the button and it comes on, you can hear it, and you can see the lights flashing up and down. So I don't think there's an on-off switch for it. I think it just close it, and so obviously it's got a sensor, so when you open it, it will come on, you can hear the sound and see the lights. So it stays on for a while. If you want to activate it while you've got it in your hand, then you just press that button there. I don't know if there's any, I don't think there's any other, I thought that was a switch there, but it's not, it's just a sticker. There's a light on the top there as well, so that lights up. I'm guessing that's so that you know that it's on. Oh, is that a switch? I thought for a second that was a switch then, but it's not. No, it's just a light. So when you close the item, the light goes off. So yeah, so the item will be on the whole time while this is open. So you can see the lights on, so you can see it's there. So you can't put it back in the packet with the batteries in. Actual fact, that's obviously the reason why they took them out in the first place, because they would obviously drain and die. So it would be on all the time. So, but if you close it up, you can see the light does actually go off. So you could keep the batteries in it with it closed. But if you was going to keep it open, you'd need to take the batteries out or pop something in there to stop the batteries from working. I think originally they came with a little tag in there that you pulled out to get the sound and the electronics to work. Anyway, let's get some sizes. So we're looking at about 8.5 centimeters in height overall. Width-wise, we're looking at about 3.5 centimeters. And if I close it up and then we measure across there, the thickness, we're looking a tad over 2 centimeters, maybe 2.5 centimeters at its widest point. You've got this little chain on there, and now the chain measures about 4 centimeters, and then of course you've got the ring there, which is also 2 centimeters. I've got the things is part coming open as I'm holding it. That's why the sound keeps going off. So there we have it. So that's a nice little replica of the tricorder. Like I say, if you want it to go off while you've got it open, you just press the button and away it goes. And then you don't want it to stay on, you want to turn it off, you just close the thing, and you can see the light at the top has gone off. And if you open it again, that light comes on. So that shows you that it's on constantly. So in fact, when I put it back in the packets, I'm going to have to remove the batteries again, but I will leave the batteries in the packet for whoever purchases the item, so that they don't have to worry about getting batteries, and just insert them when the item arrives. Okay, that is the item. I mean, I think it's really cool, but I do think if I left the batteries in it and I kept it on my keys, it would drive me mad going off all the time. So it might be an idea, if it's something that you're going to keep in your key ring with your keys, you might want to consider taking the batteries out, because it will probably drive you mad as well. Okay, question. How well did these do back in the day? Well, yeah, they've done exceptionally well. Now, when these were released, they were distributed in the UK by a company called Downpace. Now, this is back in the 90s. We had the shop, still had the shop at the time, and we did actually order a whole rotating stand that these key rings would go on. But not only were these, there was pins and there was other standard key rings that would come and go onto the same branches of the rotating stand. Now, there've been a lot of promotion on these items, and we had coming soon notes up with pictures of these key rings. We'd had a lot of orders in advance for these from our regular customers from the shop. And when they finally did arrive, well, half the stock had already gone. The rest of them we put onto the stand, but by the end of the day, all of these electronic key rings had sold out. It wasn't just, people wasn't just coming in and buying the one that they wanted, they were coming in and buying them all. And we didn't bank on that when we placed our order, apart from the pre-orders from the regular customers who most of them ordered the whole set. But the other customers, we didn't bank on that. But everybody that was coming in, and they didn't just pick one up, they picked the lot up until they were literally all gone. We did reorder, of course, and they did come in a week or so's time. And again, they were constant sellers, I should say, for about a year until the series come to an end. But it was a very, very good item. I think they were something like about £4.99 when they first came out back in 1995. So, which I think even then was a fair amount of money, but obviously, you know, inflation nowadays, they're obviously a lot more than that these days. But anyway, so yeah, done exceptionally well, these did, and as I know that from experience. Now let's move forward 30 years to 2025, which is where we are today. Do these key rings come up very often for sale on the platforms? Well, very occasionally now. You do see the odd one pop up from time to time. Most of them, when you see them come up, though, they are loose. They're out, not in the packets. They're out the packets, and a lot of the time you will read on there untested, and obviously you know if they're untested, they're not working. So people don't just put things up as untested unless they've tried them and they don't work. So they don't want to put you off by saying non-working, so they put them up as untested. So you can pretty much bet your bottom dollar that if it says untested on the platform, they are not working. Of course, you know, if they are, you'll see them fully working. It says working, tested, fully working. So there we are. So you know which ones to go for if you're looking on a platform. So they do come out in various different conditions from time to time. Various different key rings do appear from time to time, but not very often. And when they do, they're usually not around for very long. Very, very rarely do they come up in the packets as this one is. Even though this one had obviously been opened and been a form of display item, but it is in mint condition. So it was put into a display cabinet and there it stayed for the duration of the display until they were taken out and returned to the packets, the batteries removed and left in the storeroom for, well, getting on for 25 years until we went in and bought out all their stock. And there was an awful lot of stock, and we're still working our way through it now. So we're trying to get everything done as quickly as possible, prepared and ready for sale on the Midas Touch website. And this particular item, as of today, is available to purchase on the Midas Touch website. Now, we do have the entire set, although I think a couple of them have actually sold now, but we do have the remaining. I think there was 8 in all, and I think we might have 6 still available, and they are available to purchase on the Midas Touch website. And you can get there very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles. Come to that, there's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes to the website. And there will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely positive that this is something you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new items which we're shooting videos for and uploading as quickly as we possibly can. And so if there's something in particular you're looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful, wonderful old Star Trek The Next Generation tricorder keychain with me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next video. So bye for now.